Hi YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I'm having a pretty good day. Just got through having a furnace technician look at our furnace. I think there's a couple things wrong. It might be we had a when problems with our hot water heater, and it pipe actually broke and it shot water at our thermostat for our furnace. So we thought that, and the fan was running and it wouldn't come on. So we have this guy here right now. I think he's got to make repairs probably tomorrow, but him and Doug are looking at some of their stuff. He just happens to live pretty close, 10 miles away over by the lake, or 10 miles, 10 minutes away, um, about a mile as the crow flies, and actually across the road. If you want to put your canoe in, you can get to the lake. But so yeah, they're out there looking at Doug's toys and whatever, talking. And so I don't know if they're going to be making any noise or coming back in, but so I've waited to make this. I had a pretty nice Sunday, just kind of kicking around. We had some really nice New York strip steaks and a salad last night, and that was phenomenal. It was so good. I don't know what I liked better, but both of them were good. So I'm making um, skinless chicken breasts. I'm turning it into buffalo chicken. Then I'm making a bunch of salad stuff in a bowl so we can take what we want and either have the chicken hot or cold and having a buffalo chicken salad. What I'm going to use is chunky blue cheese on mine with it, and then the sauce from the buffalo chicken will make it like hot. Oh, I love it like that too. I like buffalo chicken any way you make it. So I think I even had like a buffalo chicken pizza one time that was pretty good. So yeah, although I prefer like pepperoni is my favorite, or like a nice combination with all kinds of like lots of veggies on there. And I used to not like pineapple on pizza, but I don't care. The only thing I really don't like is Canadian bacon on there. Not only does it taste funky, but it's always rubbery. Um, I don't know. It is. It's hard and rubbery and hard to eat, and you bite into it. And then the sauce and the cheese doesn't want to come with your piece of crust when you take a bite. So, yeah. I heard, I don't recall the name of the countries, but I think it could have been like Lithuania and India. One of them is totally in darkness, and their power has been out. I think this is the third day, and I think it's India or Indonesia. So, like, don't mark my words. It's somewhere across the sea. A couple countries are in the dark as we speak. So, what a lot of the Trump supporters are telling me, Doug being one of them, is that these hours of darkness are coming up for the indictments that are sealed and the unsealed indictments. I'm like 30,000 people that QAnon was saying everybody's going to go down, and the military, we're in military state and they're going to take control of it. Doug thinks, and other people think, because of that, they're going to take the power down and go get all of these people. They have to deal with them. They open an indictment and then go take care of that person on that day. Um, they have to do it the same day. So that, I think what he was trying to say to me is that they were gonna take like a whole bunch of these people down in these hours of darkness, which I think is going to be them trying to do away with a bunch more of us in the dead of winter, you know, because I had premonitions, was showing people in chaos and screaming and crying and freezing and dying and all kinds of weird stuff going on in the world. So that is the Great Tribulation, I'm afraid. Great Tribulation for other people could be different from one person to another. Whatever trauma you've been through in your life might have been way greater than that. Who's to say? Or your soul, whatever you carry within yourself, you know. So, yeah. Yikes. Yeah. So, but yeah. Oh, I don't know. Not a lot really, really going on. Just saying hello, and that's about it. You know. I was reminiscing with Doug this morning about when our parents met each other, his parents and my parents. One of the satanic bloodline that had been so dummied down to carry those children and propagate that seed on that planet, and the other total Illuminati aware and conductors of that situation in life's standing out. And so Doug's parents were like 10, 12 years older than mine. Um, just as Doug's like 8 years older than me, but uh so here these two sets of parents out in the front yard. Uh I think they were trying to talk. I'm not sure. I don't think I'll ever be sure of that one. That was a trip. Very much so a trip. Because they came from the same bloodline, uh, tribes from the beginning of the Illuminati, and ones that were nurtured for controlling others, and ones that were nurtured more like the home nesters for growing monsters, you know. So you had them like two competing, but yet in the same organization type of people and spirits, and it was just a mess in that respect, you know. And Doug and I are looking at each other like, uh, anyway. It was odd. It was a very odd day. We didn't invite them to our wedding. No, none of them. I don't remember if oh yeah, everybody was still alive. We didn't invite our kids in. Nobody wished us well. So we didn't have too many people. Even our witnesses weren't true witnesses. They're like, so all them fake ones out there, you know. So, and we knew it, but it's nothing we could do about it, you know. It's like, it is what it is, you know. Wow. Yeah. And then I see that there's people on there that are pushing like La Palma's gonna potentially crack off into the sea and flood everything. Like, if you know who Edgar Casey is, he had premonitions of, and drew maps. He was a naval officer, I do believe. And he drew maps of what the floodplains would look like if part of Africa cracked off and made it to Sami. And the one I was watching last night, um, pushing the fear porn, was based, or he calls himself New York Prepper, or NY Prepper. And I'm not saying he's hateful or evil or even part of the Illuminati, can't prove a thing, but I just know that and then he's giving the levels, the sea levels, like if a wave came in at like 25 feet up to 200 feet, and that Philadelphia would be gone was the first thing he said, you know. And I'm thinking, well, see, he, I think, lives there now, grew up on Long Island, I think he said. Um, there was some younger people, or younger, some older people in life, and I've never seen this guy's face, just heard him on the interweb. But so I have no idea his age range or who he is really. It just, there was places like Montauk Air Force Base that did experiments on children, and the government, the Illuminati, and hospitals, and a lot of the German scientists that were brought over here, Project Monarch, I do believe, um, or Operation Monarch, um, that were genetically modifying DNA and the things they were trying to do, biochemically and things, where they got money from the public but put it out to the public like they were needing funding for like going to the moon or whatever. It's just like if they take away a war, all the money that the people pay into the government right now is going to be used for wars on down the line, so they say. Otherwise, the people would be asking, where did all that money go? We don't have a war. What do you need that money for? See what I mean? So, yeah, they got to keep perpetuating their lies and milking the system to keep their world going around monetarily, you know. While other people suffer, that doesn't matter to them. So, yeah. Like I say, just some things on my mind today, like usual. I don't know where the spirit's gonna lead me. You never know. If I were upset, I would be afraid of where it would lead me, but I might get on here and do that anyway because I'm not one to play like uh I'm like all lily white and I'm only happy and I'm just going to show you that side of me. No, I want you to know me. I want you to understand the trials and tribulations in my life and how I overcome stuff, on a day-to-day basis. Or if I'm not overcoming it very well, my struggle and asking God for help, and maybe a video or person or a meme online or something that helped me in that respect. So, and I always know, like, people do know when the Spirit of God helps us. We are fully aware of that. But yeah, and it is sickening, like people pretending to be something they're not. Why lie about it? If I was gonna be a total jerk, I'd be the best total jerk, and I wouldn't pull bones about it. I wouldn't play. I wouldn't like pulling bones used to be a way of throwing the dice or picking a card. I wouldn't be playing it at all. I just flat out be the most wretched thing, and you would have no doubt. That's how I am. There's like no in between. You know, really. You know, I really don't filter my emotions at all because I know I walk with God, and whatever might appear to be something like, if I appear evil in any extreme to somebody, then I know that's their problem, that they don't see my true heart. So then I'm like, eat, bye, you know. So, yeah, it's like, whatever. Anyway. People. And then uh, uh, John Baker, MD, got on. I think he said it was New Hampshire doctors were telling you, oh, yeah, go get the jab. It's almost healthier than, I can't remember the words, I'm just paraphrasing, that it's almost healthier to do that than it is to get off your bum and exercise. Like even running, they said, like, quote, even running 5 miles isn't as healthy for you. And I'm like, what? What? Medical professionals are now telling you that a shot is better for you than keeping physically fit? Are you out of your flippin' mind, you donut eating weirdos? And all these doctors I've been to look either like so unhealthy. It's like, what are you? you know, really. Do you think Dr. Fauci could beat me in a foot race? You think he could arm wrestle me or even battle in a talking match with me? Right. I hardly think so. He could attempt it. That would be fun. You'd be all like, oh, yeah, smoking's bad for you. Yeah, yeah. Well, so is not believing in God. Or actually, so is believing in God and not telling the truth about things, because your your temporary money on this planet has you deceived that Satan's going to take care of you. Oh, yeah, he'll take care of you all right. That's my feelings. You don't kill people for money and think you ain't going to be taken care of, because, oh, little boys like that, you're pretty naughty. It's kind of like I was watching a Robin's Hood video, and he had a guy on there named Tyler Mullen that used to speak of uh, the one true Almighty God as Abba, which I know the Masonic incon in in what would the word be, the incantations, calling upon Satan in different names and what his names are, and the dual meaning of the bisexuality of the whole thing, and the lies that were told about some morphodite being a true hermaphrodite and transgender is all a myth. It's a fable to deceive people. And so, anyway, and that's what they're trying to alter in our DNA too. Trust me, they're putting more hormones of female in the male and vice versa. And they've been doing this for a very, very long time. God knows how long. But what I'm telling you is true. So anyway, this Tyler Mullen, I told him a long time ago, it's like, hey, why can't you talk to everybody and just call him God, you know, or Allah? That's the two biggest religions, or Father. We'll just cover it all and call him Father, the one, or the one true, you know, or Almighty, because they act like there's multiple gods. There's the Trinity, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, which is the divine female. There is not a pantheon of gods. That's bullshit. There's one creator, my Father, the true Almighty, the one true Spirit, period. And Satan can call himself God, and his little turkey minions, what onions, whatever you want to call them, peons, all day long. They can call themselves Christ. They can call themselves Jesus if you're a woman. Yeah, cute one. Um, they can call themselves whatever they want to call themselves all day long. Does not make it so. The Trinity is who they are. They're actual people that work in the spirit of mankind. Their spirits are here on earth. Their beings dwell in heaven. Some people are working through the flesh, and their spirits are not here. God's holding their spirits while they work. That's what the two witnesses are. They're not, they're working through the flesh, not with the flesh. They aren't of the flesh. So, just so people got that part straight, you know. So actually, they are infallible and they can't be hurt and they can't be dirtied because they already paid their dues. And there was only two people, and that's, if you think of the Trinity as triplets, one's the Father and the two, male and female, are the kids. There you have the beginning of it. That's what's going on. So just telling you what I know. So, and if one of them is hurt, they all hurt. That means all of you hurt. So like it is. If you hurt another human being, you are hurting yourself. Even if you're stern with the person, if I get on here and tell somebody, F you, whatever, I'm not hurting that person. If I'm stopping them or making them aware of what their evils are or whatever, however it comes out in this modern language or slang, whatever I see fit and appropriate is exactly what I'm going to use. I'm going to lay it down hard if that's what they need to, because that's what I do. It's all I do, and I do it well. No, I do a lot of things well, but I do that really well. So, oh yeah, I wrote on Sean Baker, MD. I'm like, yeah, I bet you got persecuted a lot for being active in a lazy sloth world. And then I told him what I thought about the medical professionals suggesting that you take a jab and not keep physically fit. How ludicrous is that? You know, that's ridiculous. And yes, I still keep active and I still detox. I know 40-year-olds that look horrible, horrible. Even younger than that, I've seen kids barely out of their teens that are just horribly weak and sick. So what we're battling here really, really isn't just the spirit, because the body, the physical body, um, carries that spirit. And we do battle Satan in the flesh like that, in that respect. But I can tell you that there's times I've gotten persecuted horribly for being strong or good. That's ridiculous as it sounds, but it won't never stop me from being who I am. That's who I am. So yeah, don't jog 5 miles, go take the jab. Well, I wasn't a 5 mile jogger. I was more three. I've walked like 24 miles in a day, and I rode my bike like one time it was about 80 miles in one day, because I had to get back home before dark or I'd be in trouble. And that's the truth. I went down to the cities on my bike and back, but it was a 5 speed. So, and I took the freeway. I spent some time with my friends and then headed back home. That was a trip. I could not even ride my bike the last probably 5 miles. I had to walk. I was so sore. It was crazy. But I used to do stuff like that all the time, especially with my walking. I walked and walked and walked and walked and walked some more. And then I walked some more and more and more. Unbelievable. You wouldn't have believed it. Even my kids would they were very careful if I asked them if they wanted to go along, you know. And I was careful with them. I mean, I had provisions to build a campfire and snacks and whatever, you know, to take care of them, even like a knife or a weapon or whatever. I mean, I was always really careful with them when I had them out walking miles and miles. I pushed them. physically. They'll thank me for it later. I think they already do. They'd be dead by now if it wasn't for that. So, yeah, I'm sure it helped. Yeah. In one respect, Doug is really trying to take care of his health. In another way, not. He always tries so hard, and he is really a strong guy. He might even outlive me, God knows. But he sure gives his body a beating, you know, some days. Oh, I could be, when he's weak like that, I could be so cruel. Boy, that'd be an easy time to do that. But I don't, you know. I'm into lifting people up, you know, really. Why did I think that? Because I got this mean streak in me, and I kind of love it, and I'm not letting it go until I die. That's why. Just in case I need it. I hope I don't, but I'd rather be sweet. But if I can't be sweet and somebody needs to be beat, that might have to happen. you know, really never been vicious. So, but I'm not saying that couldn't happen. I really don't know. I know I'm not capable of murder that much. I do know. But if you ever fight with people, and that's what I always tried to stress to my sons, just keep this in mind. When you raise a hand to another human being, you're potentially killing them or hurting them or maiming them. Even if you smack somebody and you break a vein, it could affect them later in their lives. Or their heart or whatever you have, or a bone or their skin. You have no idea, and you're literally harming yourself. So anytime you lay a hand on a person or say a word to a person or feed a person or greet a person, whenever you encounter your other parts of your family through Christ and that spirit, um you're always talking to little angels. That's who they are. There's God's babies, and even the ones that are sick. And yes, I know. And it's heartbreaking. If I wasn't so tough inside and mean, I'd be crying every day because of the sadness and sorrows of the whole world. I keep myself together by acting tough. Well, I am strong, but acting tough is a whole nother thing. That's the act. you know, strong isn't an act. Badass, that's not an act either. But my tough language, that's an act. So that's my heart. Me bearing my soul in humility out of love, because I do love you all. Well, have a really nice day or night wherever you're at. Till we meet again. Love y'all.